Alright, motherfuckers, this is clearly a Apex Season 12 review. I think I'm gonna get this bitch started talking about how weird the community is. Cause on my soul, bruh, you would have thought with Maggie's release, she was about to be the most OP shit ever. And you know what? I kinda give it to y'all. On paper, she was kinda looking like she was about to be that. But then when she dropped, she was mid as fuck. Like, yes, she's cool to run in pubs, you know, you do your thing. You run around with a shotgun extra fast, you know, blah, blah. The tech kind of cool, is usable, it can get people out of cover, do some quick damage. Her fucking ult blows up doors, concusses the fuck out of people. I swear to God, I've never been concussed so hard until I got hit by a Maggie ult. Flashbangs and Black Ops 2 have nothing on Maggie's ult, bruh. I swear to God. But with all that being said, in the movement factor of her ult, that's cool. It's cool. It's really cool at best. But with all that being said, when she dropped, when she released, you know, you couldn't go a week without seeing a Maggie on an opposing team. But she was mid. You couldn't do nothing with her in rank past like silver lobbies. If like you could get by in gold, honestly, because you know gold lobbies aren't that hard. But past silver and gold lobbies, you can't do shit with Maggie. She doesn't fit in any team comps. And the way people was talking about her, you would think it was the second coming of fucking Jesus, bro. And then she dropped silence. And that's why you Apex niggas are weird, bro. Silence. Y'all had everything to say about before she dropped, before anybody touched the fucking character. Oh, she's OP this. Oh, she's OP that. No, they gonna have to change blah, 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 da, da, da. Then she dropped and she's fucking mid. No one's talking about what needs to be changed so she could be a better character, so she can actually be usable. I'm not saying that every character has to be usable in team comps when it comes to rank, but every character should be at least a viable option when it comes to rank. And rank, there's only a couple viable options, and Maggie was not one of them. And with the way people was talking about her, you know, you would have thought she was gonna be the only character that was viable to use. But whatever. All in all, Maggie, you know, she was cool. She was a cool little character. She didn't drop on the OP shit. You couldn't tell, if anything, she was more underwhelming than anything. She was kind of balanced. I personally think she needs a buff, but you know, the Maggie drop was cool. It kind of happened like any other legend drop in the last couple seasons, except Seer. Seer dropped, he was amazing, and he got nerfed in the first fucking 2 weeks. But you know, I ain't got no issues with Maggie. Besides, I think she need a little buff. The next thing I want to touch on is Stormpoint. And low-key, the Apex community weird for this too. Look, so the thing that made Stormpoint great is the same thing that's holding it back now. Stormpoint was made 20% bigger to make it so that there was less third parties going on. So with that being said, it does that job too well. When Stormpoint dropped, I'm not gonna say everybody was in love with it. I was in love with the map. I was fucking with it. I was messing with the POIs. I was messing with everything, bro. Just the new jump pad system, instead of having the fucking balloon towers. I'm like, you know, I was fucking with that. But now we at a point where it's like people aren't going to these POIs. People are going to like 5 hot drops, killing everybody off spawn. And then you're literally running around for 10 minutes. Now, instead of playing Apex, motherfucker, I'm playing Loot Simulator with a gun in my right hand. And some abilities to get around every now and then. You feel me? Like, the same thing that made the map great upon drop is the same thing that's holding it back now. I can't stress that enough. And here's why you Apex motherfuckers is weird. Because the season before Stormpoint dropped, everybody was complaining about third parties nonstop, and to a certain extent, motherfuckers still complaining about it now, but it's not as much of a complaint as it is a joke in acceptance of the fact that third parties are just a part of the game. And I low-key think that people been knew that third parties are just a part of the game, but I just feel like people are constantly fiending for something to complain about. So they make this bigger map. We get it. People fuck with it for a second. Now, the main complaint is that it ain't no smoke for most of the game, which is an understandable complaint. But, you know, Stormpoint is kind of exactly what we asked for. Now, is the Apex community weird for that? Yeah. But y'all are not as weird for that as y'all are the Maggie's things. Like, I can almost get a Stormpoint thing a pass. I'll fuck with it. I don't expect everybody else to fuck with it. But, you know what? I take that back. I'll fuck with it. And if more people fucked with it, it would make the map easier to be fucked with. If more people was dropping it at more than fucking 5 points in the map, games would go a lot smoother, where you're seeing more consistent teams. You aren't having to wait until there's 5 squads left and you only fought one team and it was like at drop. Like, I don't know. Stormpoint obviously could be better. I just get sad when I see that shit in rotation. Like, I'm glad it wasn't in ranked rotation, because whenever it was in, I was like, fuck it, I'll just play ranked for the next 2 hours. But fuck it. Alright, so far in this review, I've just been extremely negative. But let's talk about something that I fucked with. The crypto buff that they dropped, really the rework, it's hardly a buff, but the rework, I fuck with that shit heavy. Before this rework, I was not trying to play crypto. I've tried playing crypto before. I couldn't do it. He was a passive bitch. With this new rework, bro, you can play him so much more aggressive. He went from being passive to being like a calculated aggressor. Just being able to activate the EMP after throwing the drone out and creating some distance between you and a team and getting 150 damage off of destroying whatever the fuck somebody got in a building. Just, crypto went from being, hey, he's cool for a certain type of play style to, hey, I can play him essentially however the fuck I want. And I love that. Crypto actually became my main during the rank, like for rank, when I normally play characters like Wraith, Loba, Revenant. So imagine the playstyle switch, or imagine the switch it was for me to go from playing those legends to playing crypto, and crypto being a viable option to where I'm not changing up my playstyle so much. I just fuck with it because I'm not relegated to playing this one playstyle where I gotta hide my body. And hiding your body in Apex in the land of third parties, where you could be fighting one team and then another team pop up and just see a crypto in his drone, you're going to fucking die, bro. And not having to be relegated to that, that's amazing. Being able to just throw the drone out and low-key use it as a decoy, like use that to bend the corner, distract people because it makes noise, hear that bitch just going around. Like, I'm happy with what they did with him. Crypto right now, I feel like is in the perfect spot where they don't need to touch him. I still see people talking about he needs a buff still. I don't think that's necessary. I think people are just like, I think people aren't using him right. So, in summary, crypto went from being just mid to being my favorite scout / support / entry fragging ass legend. I fuck with him, and to be honest, I couldn't be more happy with him. But we not gonna stop at crypto. I got something else that I like, and that was the gun balance this season. Look, I'm not happy about the Volt being in the care package, because the Volt is honestly one of my favorite guns. I'm not too happy about the Spitfire being in the care package, but you know, I'm used to it at this point. I used to fuck with the Spitfire. I ain't pick it up all the time, but you know, I used to fuck with it. But the floor loot weapons, oh my god, chef's kiss. I don't think outside, like, this season is the probably the most diverse my weapon arsenal has ever been. I remember opening up the season with the triple take alternator combo. Then I went to the R3 Mastiff, R3 PK, Bocek R3, Bocek Car, Sentinel Car, Wingman Havoc, Wingman Car, the 3030 in the Havoc. Bro, I was just trying so many weapons that I wasn't trying before. And I'm gonna be honest, part of that is because the flatline wasn't in the floor loot. And not even that I was using a longbow before, but that's not in floor loot either. So it just gives you more options. If at the beginning of the season, if I couldn't find an R3, I'm like, fuck it. Like, I gotta have a gun, cause R3 was like kind of my go-to for a minute. I gotta have a gun, so like, fuck it. I'm gonna pick up this alternator. Oh my god, this bitch beaming. Fuck it. Let me try out this car, cause like, you know, last season I was fucking with the car, but let me really see about this car. Car fucking beast. Car's a fucking beast. You know, let me touch this wingman. You know, I've been touching him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But let me really touch this wingman. Let me put my hand in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Start clipping niggas' heads with the wingman, you know what I'm saying? So I was running around with that bitch for a minute. All in all, bro, I don't think the weapons have been more balanced in the game, and I fuck with that. I can't wait for the Volt to be added back to the floor loop. Outside of that, man, Apex, weapon balance, that's all I gotta say. Next thing is the rank. I think I'm gonna split this up into two different splits. Obviously, first we got the Olympus split, which honestly I don't have too much to say about, because the Olympus split was kind of perfect. The map changes that they made to Olympus was well needed, very well needed, because it was way too much open space. Now there's less of that, so getting caught in a fight out in the open isn't as prevalent as it was before. And even if you are out in the open, it isn't as open as it was before. You got cover, you got more loot. It's cool. Don't really have any complaints about the Olympus split. Plus, Olympus is just, in my personal opinion, Olympus is my favorite map. It's a beautiful map. So I was just happy to have a split on Olympus. Next up, we got King's Canyon, and I gotta be honest. King's Canyon, I wasn't really fucking with. Even though I technically had more success on King's Canyon than I did on Olympus. I think that had more to do with the change in play style than it did the map itself. And let me explain. King's Canyon, I knew that the moment I shot a bullet, the entire lobby was on their way to where I was. And that's not even like a shot at the community or anything. It's just that King's Canyon, even though I know in my head it's not really that small, everything feels very, very small. All the points of interest are really close for the most part. And I don't know, it's just really easy to get caught up in some bullshit on King's Canyon. And I know part of that is on me, but part of it is just like the way the game flows, it doesn't flow all too well on King's Canyon. Shit, what else? It feels like if you don't land at a couple good spots on King's Canyon, you won't have good loot, and you'll be struggling all game to get good loot. You will literally feel like you're drowning all game up until you find some decent loot, whether that's through some death boxes that you just happen to stumble upon, or whether that's because you came across an area that just so happens to not be looted for whatever reason. But if you don't land right on King's Canyon, like, obviously landing right on any map in ranked, imperative. But on Kings Canyon, it seems especially true. And I understand that even if you land at these good hot drops, not even hot drops, but these good drops, there's a chance that you won't find good loot. And I understand that games can go like that sometimes, but it feels like on Kings Canyon, it just happens way too often. Besides that, I don't have many complaints. I'm not a big fan of Kings Canyon. I understand why people are tired of it. I kind of fuck with Kings Canyon, but I do see why people are tired of it. So I don't know why they brought this back. I mean, I guess given our options is either Kings Canyon or fucking Storm Point for a ranked map, and I'd much rather have Kings Canyon than Storm Point. My last little thoughts on ranked is like they changed the KP system, which I kind of fuck with, but at the same time I don't. I feel like it incentivized people to play like pussies, which people might have played like pussies like anyways, but it was a lot of people more focused on placement than kills, which I guess that's the point. But you're actively seeing people like duck fights or just do weird shit, especially at the end of the game. Like, I hate getting to the end, like one of the last couple circles, and still seeing this fucking 7 teams left, 10 teams left, and like, I'm not even exaggerating. If anything, I'm underdoing it, and it turns that last circle into like just a big clusterfuck of dumb shit. And depending on who all is alive and who's playing what legends, it might turn into some straight bullshit. Which, then again, that's part of why I fuck with it, because anything can happen. You never know. Oh, let's talk about the events. Events fucking ass trash as always. LTMs ass trash as always, bro. I swear to God, they bring back like the same 7 LTMs, not even 7, like same 3 LTMs, and like we're supposed to act like, oh my God, them bitches is got me creaming in my pants. No, them hoes ass, bro. Flashpoint? Fuck am I gonna do with Flashpoint? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Control was actually pretty cool. I didn't play too much of it. Kind of the same thing with arenas when it first dropped. I didn't really play too much arenas. It's a cool game mode, but I'm just kind of used to the things that I already do on here. I won't knock it, cause I fuck with it. I fuck with Control heavy. It's nothing wrong with Control, but I just don't play it that much. Final thing, the Battle Pass. Battle Pass was underwhelming as it normally is, so that's nothing new. The tier 100 and 110 skins, like, cool, but who was asking for reactive Hemlock skins? Like, I fuck with them, I guess. Like, strong, I guess, but like, that skin didn't inspire me to pick up the Hemlock and start. I'm lying. That skin did make me pick up the Hemlock for 2 games and try to do something with it. And like, oh, I got that bitch to react. Oh, cool. It's whatever. There's better reactive skins. There's better guns to use. Like, fuck the Hemlock skin, bro. Honestly, like that was such a waste. I'm not gonna lie. But what other gun would they have done? Like, maybe the car or the Rampage. Hell, the 30-30, the fucking Bocek. They could have done any other gun now that I'm thinking about it. The Hemlock skin, like, bro, whatever. Quick side note, the Crypto event has some tough skins. The Crypto heirloom, I'm not gonna lie, is in contention for best looking heirloom, best animations for an heirloom in the game. In contention with Revenant, because I think before this, Revenant definitively had the best heirloom in the game. But now I feel like it's a competition. With all that said, to give this season an overall score, drum roll please, psych bitch, I'm not doing a drum roll. I gotta get this at 8 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10. Even though I had all my complaints, Apex was still solid as fuck, above average. It was a great season. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very great season.